of said studio. We are going to be working on some kit bashing today. And opening some figures. I feel like the lighting in here could use a change, and also that I need to stationary this camera with something a little more solid, but we're working on it. It's a new layout. I'm going to let some friends come in here, but I figured we would open these up before I start kit bashing with them. Talk about what I want to do. You know, they make a pill for that, and I just don't have that pill. You beat Bjorn. Good nachos. I fucking love nachos. Let me just stand up and grab something real quick. Nobody judge my sloppy painting clothes. I plan on doing a little painting today, and also I'm wearing my pajama shorts because it's far too hot for pants. So, you know, I don't want to hear it. Okay. There you go. There's that guy. There's this guy. All right. So, we got our friends tumbling in. Can't blame Grandpa for this, Bjorn. And I'm also going to drop some lore. A little bit of gimmick lore, so that'll be fun. But I'm going to go ahead and slide these guys out. The special Vader set, the Journey of Anakin Skywalker. The Journey of Skywalker. I did see Fat Red come in, didn't I? What up, man? One of my patrons. Shout out to the Patreon family. If you want to support, hit us up on Patreon, Famine Studios X. I say us, it's just me and the cats. And, you know, my patrons and the family in the chat. Nebula's Nexus, what up, what up? Yeah, I jumped on this day one, which is rare for me, with a HasLab set. I don't normally jump on them day one, but this is one I knew I wanted for the Anakin that I want to make. It'll pop out like that, so that's easy. I will probably trade Vader to somebody if he doesn't have parts that I want. I haven't decided yet, but probably. Whose whores will be involved in my lore? Yeah, I don't know. Where are all the white women at? Blackjack and hookers. I don't know why I'm over here, like, using my knife, like I'm that guy. Like, that's usually what I do to open things. It's not me. I will keep this, however, because that's a big old piece of window right there. Keep that away from the cats so they don't scratch it. By the cats, I mean me. So, the reason I wanted to get this set is I needed this buck, this new and improved Anakin buck, and I didn't get the newest one. I had actually recently purchased the older Anakin from my buddy Travis. So I didn't get the World Between Worlds Anakin, and I didn't get the Clone Wars Anakin that they did for Ahsoka, if my memory goes correctly on that. Okay. Which is, I think, the one that's in this package here is the World Between Worlds Anakin. But I like that he's got a force push hand and a red lightsaber. So it's got to be World Between Worlds because he never had the red lightsaber in Episode 3 as a weapon. Unless you want to argue that he had it while he was Darth Vader, but he never lit it as Darth Vader, so I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And I'm gonna leave Darth aside. Leave Darth aside, but so in my lore of gimmick, there is an Anakin Skywalker and there is an Obi-Wan Anakin does go by Lord Vader because he has fallen to the dark side. He was seduced by the dark side. And Obi-Wan, is General Kenobi because he still leads a legion of clone troopers. He plays with his weapon, T-Heat. I loved the Clone Wars armor, the Clone Trooper armor that Obi-Wan had. I dig some of the aspects of this new look that they gave him at the end of the series, and he looks older and more haggard. And I kind of want to beef this one up. Maybe actually use a clone body and swap out some parts so he's got the full armor, because that was my favorite part of the Cartoon Network Clone Wars, the shorts, was him leading on the speeder bike with the Jedi robe just pieced underneath the armor. That was so fucking cool. And the helmet, it was dope. But Anakin, I wanted him to have the flair of his Clone Wars armor, but give him perhaps more of his dark side Anakin look. So I want to head swap these two. I want to, because he's got the longer hair and the darker eyes, and I'm thinking I want to swap his gloved hand out to replace the one from the Clone Wars, because I just think it looks more menacing and it's more reminiscent of the Episode 3 and Anakin's fall to the dark side. So I think I'm just gonna, let's see about getting this cape off of him first. I know it's ringed in, so you can just kind of pop the elastic off of his arms, which is great. That makes my life a little bit easier, if I can just figure out how to do that. Because I'm like a child, a 5-year-old child that doesn't... There we go. And I may change this cape to a different color. I think him having a black cape lined with crimson red on the inside would be badass. And I also think that I'm going to... Yep, he has the Force hand. However, Clone Wars Anakin doesn't have an ungloved hand, so he doesn't have the Force push hand. So I'm torn. I could swap out the forearms. It would just be brown. See what I mean? It would be brown forearms with the red, the maroon. So I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. But I do know I want a head swap. And they're on a barbell on both of them. So I can pop those off. Head swap. And he already looks much meaner, much more tense. I love that. I can just put that head swap on Anakin, and he could be training Anakin or younger Anakin. And then as far as the forearms go, where's Darth Vader? What's he got going on? Do his cuffs come off? Ooh, his cuffs come off. Hips are barbell between the two. Barbell. Boop, 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 boop. He's got the barbell in his groin, in his crotchal region. It's that way on both of them. I think I may peel off some Force Lightning here, which is dope. And I gotta give them credit. I've never been one for a Vader figure. Let's steal that cape, though. That could be a good cape for somebody else, maybe Anakin. I've never been a huge Vader figure guy because, again, it's like, it's Darth Vader. There's 9,000 of them. I have a whole handful of Vader figures, but let's see. Dude, oh, his cuffs come off. All right, we might be onto something here, guys. Okay. Oh, no, only one of his cuffs comes off. You son of a dark side. Son of a Sith. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, because then you could swap out his little crispy arm. His little hand. The idea was there. But again, cool. Yeah. I'm finding that out, Bjorn. I'm making mistakes as I go along. It's called growth. It's not growth. I'm just bad at this. Let's see. We'll make some... You gotta go swimming, Annie. I was raised in a desert. I don't know how to swim. Padme. Meh. Meh. Padme. This cup is also like... I microwaved it for like 4 minutes. I'm surprised it didn't shatter. I was playing with the cats. Didn't pay attention. And tonight, a grapefruit seltzer. Ooh. Okay. Oh, it's hot. And then we're just gonna... I'm a person and my name is Anakin. I don't know how to swim. I grew up in a desert. Why does nobody listen to me? What up, Audi? Showing off the set. I know you're saving up for Joe Fest, so I don't want to antagonize you with this. But I got the new Anakin set. All right, so that's on there now. That looks badass. I mean, I could... I mean, I could just... Y'all heard that, right? Well, if you see me slump over with a hole in me, Anthony's got my address. You call 911. I think somebody out back down... No, not lightning. I think somebody down by the train tracks is either firing a gun or a flare gun or fireworks. I'm torn. Like Natalie Imbruglia. I see. I kind of want to. I could give him the other robed hand, and the brown would match the boots. That would be interesting. Or I could just give him the other hand and just have him ungloved on that side. But it seems less, less scary, less imperial, as it were. Facing the troubles. A full robot arm would be cool. And that may be what this body is used for later, some like a damaged version or something. But I think for now, this version is going to be my evil Darth Vader. I am going to alcohol that off of there and replace it with an Imperial symbol. And I think I'm going to brighten his scar up and give his hair a darker wash. Do some weathering. You guys know me. But, like, I'll probably give him the Vader lightsaber, so it's got the black. But, come on. That's fucking dope. Yeah, I think that'll work out. I'm happy with that little kit bash there. Ideally, maybe I could paint, maybe I could dye this to look like a glove, or I'll see if I have another gloved hand in my parts bin that's doing the Force lightning. I have a whole sheet of red Imperial that I have for the stormtroopers that I make, and I have Mandalorian water slides as well. But yeah, as far as removing that, I'm just going to use a little bit of 70% alcohol in the Q-tip, and it should come right off. I could just paint over it and then put my water slide decal on there, but I'm a weird guy, so that's what I'm going to do. His shoulder pads are not on O-rings. They are actually attached to the sculpt, and they slot nicely underneath his armor, so you keep that range. And in the show, they weren't attached to the shoulder pads either, so, or it wasn't attached to the chest plate. So I think that, yeah. And I'll do a little bit of painting on that, but I'm very happy with that. And he's got the brown arm. I think that looks way more menacing. But I am going to give him Vader's black hilted lightsaber. You know, not the Anakin one. I think just because I want to. And again, I could change my mind at a moment's notice. Perhaps that's a little further down the line in his professional Sith journey, where he's hunting down Obi-Wan for what he did to him. I think the Hayden look is very much there. I do think that the scar needs a little more emphasis and the hair needs a darker wash, but it's very much him, and I love the way that looks. So yes, we've got Anakin set aside. We can work on him. His cape does go on with these two elastic little hooks. I mean, I'm almost tempted to fabric bond the Vader cape to the Anakin one and just attach it that way. I have some fabric glue that I could do. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to do a sewing or how Famine does it or anything like that, because the way I do fabric and sewing is the way that some cosplayers do it, and it's not good. It's not the right way to do it. Most things I can steer you on a comfortable way to do things that aren't horrible, but in that case, I just don't want to steer anybody wrong with the idea of that. So I'm going to open up my cool Jedi Legend Obi-Wan. And now all I can hear is because that meme that was going around where people were playing, if movie X ended in 2004 and it's the Linkin Park Transformers ending, and now all I can hear is that song playing over that Obi-Wan picture. But I want to utilize I will probably throw his goggles on his kit and his forearms, maybe his gloves. We'll see. We'll see. I love that head sculpt, though. So let's see. Let's get these sweet glasses out. And they are transparent. The cloak is perfect for the Clone Wars, like to go on the clone armor, because it's sleeveless and it doesn't, doesn't close the traditional way, and the hood is sewed in the back, so it'd be great for the clone. But I'm going to pop that off of him for the time being. And that's a dope Jedi look right there. If you were to pop his head off and throw another head sculpt on there, you've got an instant Jedi Knight. Let's see about taking the head sculpt off of here. That is on a barbell. His hips are on a barbell. So he's already got more range in his groinal region than this version of Obi-Wan. And his head is not going to fit on that unless I modify it. So let's keep that Obi-Wan aside for the time being. Let me grab my Episode 3 clone. You could get swap. Hello. What's up, artifacts? Swap arms and legs and get even more use. I could. Excuse me, let me grab a clone. Hey, yo, what up, clone troopers? It's your boy. How do I turn that off? I accidentally turned on a light, now I don't know how to turn it off. Alright. Over here to Famine's world of clones and such. I think this is the new... No, that one definitely came in the Trooper set. This is the new one. I just threw a... Is it the new one? Nar. Is this the new one? Possibly. How will we ever find out, kids? I remember him being more squat. Am I losing my mind? Had to have it to lose it, Famine. Had to have it to lose it. Did you put him in with the stormtroopers? That's a possibility. Nope, that much I know I didn't do. Okay, so here's the big riddle. Oh, that's how you tell. It's the shoulder pads. So this is the new one. All right, pop his head off. Possibly. Yep. He's on a barbell, so I just need to swap the barbells. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Judge me a little bit. I could have hurt my teeth. Probably have to switch out a different barbell. So let me see Obi-Wan's barbell. Look over there, distraction. See how that worked? There we go. We can put Master Kenobi's head on that. Nice. Just out of curiosity. I can make a swappable head for that. That's no problem. Who's yelling at me? Something from your world. Decide where it came from and how it got there. Do it again. Yeah, you know, you got to get the microplastics in while you can. Just for humor's sake. Essentially, I would just need to add the 2 circle bits that was on the front of his armor in the Clone Wars, and that could be Jedi Master Kenobi and his Clone Wars stuff. That's badass enough. Now I could... You know, I'm thinking I just want to modify a regular Jedi robe for this instead of this one that it came with. Because I feel like the other ones have a little bit more... It's a tactile thing, but also how they sit. And I can put his hood up. So let's see. Let's grab one of those. Where's the tote with all the tings? There we go. There's a regular robe. There's a different robe. All right, we got some options here. All right. So we've got I think this was a cape for a battle droid. I don't like that one. It's just too short and there's no hood. We've got that one. Oh, I don't remember that came from. Mandalorian cape. I just want to see how this looks on him. Nah. So we've got this Jedi robe here. That's another one where the hood is sewn down. Why is that? Is that a thing? Is that something we're doing now? Hot. Hot. Okay. So that's just this same pattern, sans sleeves. But it is a brown and it is a little shorter. Let's see. Let's get wild with it, guys. Let's just do this on the fly. But famine, that seems like a great way to make mistakes. Well, you know, in the words of Tony Stark, sometimes you gotta run before you can walk. Okay, so we got that out of the way. And then I just go hit. That solved that problem. Sleeve number 1. And then we're gonna cut off sleeve number 2. Cha-cha! How's that gonna look? I don't know. Shall we find out together? Let's do it. That looks arguably the same. However, basically all I need is the clone. Okay. $10,000 question. Bjorn probably is the guy who would know this. Is there a clone out there with a removable belt? That's got an easy to remove belt, I should say. Because I feel like he had... a belt over the robes, which helped keep them in place. I could look it up. I could use the technology. Purge Trooper has a belt that you can remove easily. Is it a white belt or a black belt? Not that it really matters. I could paint it. And I have a Purge Trooper floating around somewhere. I have a few of them, actually. I also have belts over there. Let's take a look here. Am I using my television as a Google machine right now? Possibly. Mind your business. I have plenty of scout troopers. That's the goddamn truth. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do.
This video is...
Nope. You're not going to get me with a copyright strike. All right. So he's got the 2 circles on his chest, and he does not have a belt. So basically I just need to get 2 white circles, and I can fabric the robes the way I want them. And then we've got our Kenobi. All right. Good job, everybody. Teamwork made the dream work. Proud of you. Proud of you all. You made me a very happy man. Now I'm just looking at stuff. No, see, he did have the belt over it. I'm not crazy. All right. Now I could cut this belt. Hey, if anybody's like, do you know how a crazy person's mind works? You're like, do I? And then you bring them to my videos and just let them see me do this shit on the fly. You know, without any real aim. I mean, I have aim. It's just, you know, not necessarily good aim for what I'm doing. But you have them come watch me, and they'll be like, wow, that is a crazy person. How do you know this man? And, you know, as a friend, make up a lie. I don't care. If you think it's going to help you, make up a lie. You stumbled across my videos. You thought it was Dutch corn, you know. All I'm doing right here is I am very carefully trimming that excess material that's at the overlap from where they joined it together. I'm not cutting to the seams, but I am just taking enough off that it's comfortably and it's going to lay more the way I want it. I actually used to do this when they kind of had the woolen Jedi cloaks that they were giving with figures that were stiff. And then I would kind of like mash them repeatedly until they took the shape that I wanted. But it's not anything you have to do. This is just one of those things that old Famine used to do, and I think it will serve me well with this custom, so I'm doing it now. And I don't know, if you were really crafty and you were really good with the scissors and you wind up with some strips like these, I fucked up a few of them, you could save those and use them as bandages for a figure. The sleeves you could save and use as boot cuffs for a pirate figure or a space, you know, buccaneer, whatever you wanted to do. You got options, right? So let's say I cut this belt off because we're feeling froggy, kids. We'll make the incision on the back of the belt, right there. Cut through, 1, 2. Belt has been removed. His pants are barely on. And they'll stay on. Oh, that's good, because that's glued in the front. So now we'll go sleeves in, sleeves in. And now we can just kind of take that belt. We can bring the front of those. And he's got like this big V on the front. So we'll make the robes fold over themselves. Tuck it under there all the way to the middle. And I can adjust it using that as a placeholder. And then just push that to the back, hold that in place. I'm sorry that I'm not giving you a good view of this. I barely know what I'm doing. I'm kind of making this up as I go along. So again, we peel this out of the way, pop that there. Okay. And bring that forward. Come on. Bring it in. Bring you forward. Bring you in. And you know, I'm going to be honest with you guys, if you weren't watching, there'd probably be a lot more swearing. And calling this figure names, even though the figure didn't do anything wrong. So, just be aware, you guys are helping me be a more peaceful individual. Okay. And then we just kind of tighten that back up, back where the belt goes, and we see how it looks. Let's see. Back doesn't necessarily need to be pretty because it is the back. All right, so you gotta come forward some. Bring that up there. Yeah, that should do. Okay, and that allows for, I want to keep that back kind of scrunched there, which does allow for movement. I think I'll make a couple of cuts on that belt, on the cloak, but I do think that we've got a solid base here. So let's break out the old Susan Per glue. Do I already have one open? Is there a super glue open? Doesn't matter. Okay. So we're gonna let me make my cuts here first on this robe. Start filming my little... I think you should too, or even if you just take pictures along the way and then you can like make a slideshow and narrate it. I think that would be pretty cool as well, Bjorn. I don't want to cut out... Okay. Perfect. And we can touch that up. We can scorch that. We can stitch witch it. We can fix that later, a little bit later. Let me go ahead and do a little more trimming on this seam here because it's kind of unsightly once everything's pulled up all taut and nicely. All right. So we got him in Jesus Christ mode. He's got his savior huggers in place. Does he even have a hood? He does have a hood. Okay. Just me over here shouting at shit. Is he even fucking a Jedi Knight? I don't understand. What is Star Wars? So if you guys have watched, you know that I've never seen any of the Star Wars movies. What is Star Wars? Is that like Star Trek? Is that a thing? Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Tighten that up a little bit. Why is that bunching up there? What are you getting snagged on? What am I not doing correctly? No, that looks appropriate. What are you getting snagged on, buddy? Okay. All right. Let's see what we can do here. Punch through the... Nope. There we go. Okay. And you can tell I'm being serious because I've shut up. Usually I'm flapping me old gums over here. 10,000 miles per hour, not speaking. Nope, that didn't work out. All right, let's think this through. Okay. Think it through. Do I need to be able to see that in the back? Nope. Okay. So just put that there. No. Okay. Do I need to center it up? It really is the fabric of this that's getting in the way. So okay. What am I doing here? What is my brain not thinking of right now? What are you not thinking of correctly here, Famine? Okay. Useless. Okay. I know. Okay. There we go. This, like this. I wonder. Okay. All right, that's fixed. That is not fixed. Okay, so that's bleh. That's what the problem was there. Okay. Now this has got to go up underneath this. Come on. Holy shaditsky. Hood back over, tucked under. Okay. There's that there. What am I doing wrong here? Probably a lot of things. As long as those two things are under there, that's on there. Okay. That's there all the way forward. That's there all the way forward. Those are the two things that I care about most aesthetically. And then I can just glue that back together right now. Just want it to be that. All right, and accelerator, because I'm extremely impatient. All right. Step one of correcting that mistake is done. Okay. That's all the way forward. That's all the way forward. Good. Good, good, good. Now, what am I going to use to make those white circles? Probably styrene would be my best bet. So let's see what we got for a styrene. I like the way that that looks. Still retains his range of motion. He's still got the cape-like look, so... What do I have for styrene? Do I have any card that is white that I want to use? Or do I actually have to dig styrene out of the sheets? Oh, don't second guess yourself, man. Just get the thing. Here we go. Plastic sheet right there. Okay. Nice thin styrene, doesn't need to be deep. And do I have my hole punch? Probably not. Nope. Is that gonna stop me? No. Should it? Probably yes. For my thin styrene, these are great. Highly recommend. So let's see. I don't have any more brass tubes that are sharpened for my hole punch. What do I got? I know what I can use. I know precisely what I can use to make a perfect circle. Well, a serviceable circle. A usable circle? These stupid things. They're not stupid. If they're useful. What's up, Jess? Hi, sissy. Get that off of it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and guess that I want this size. No, it's going to be this size circle. No, I'm not using the dome. Yeah, that'll be a good circle. So let's see. That's a different size, isn't it? Slightly bigger. That's okay. It's okay. Okay. You might be asking yourself what the fuck I'm doing. You'd be right to ask that. And I'm going to ask you to mind your damn business and stay out of my personal life. I'm kidding. Let's see here. Something temporarily sticky. I'm going to use super glue because I can pop this off. Boop. On there. Usually I'm not this wasteful with my plastic. I usually try and put my stuff together as close as I can. But like I said, be able to cut this bad boy off of there in a minute. Pry the plastic off. I sure hope this works. This is what I'm doing. Quite literally just tracing it with the hemisphere on there. Okay. Pretty janky cut job. But then we call up our friends. We say, hey friends, what's going on? What's going on, guys? What's going on? Grab one of our sanding sticks / emery board / nail files. I clean up my sloppy craftsmanship with a little bit of sanding. And then I just kind of find that. Okay, so for the first time that... Yeah, even that little bit of glue was too much. think I need a new blade in order to do this the right way. Yeah, my Lenore. Anybody without looking it up, can you tell me what the Command Lenore is from? Okay. Gotta go a little thinner on that next one. Okay. Okay. Next up is that side. No snowflakes. See, if I let you in here now, you'll come in, you'll traipse about, you'll be all cute, you'll win over all the fans, and then you'll climb up on something you're not supposed to be on because you've won over the audience. And I've learned my lesson. Nope. No, ma'am, I'm sorry. It's union rules. Yeah, no, I talked to my union boss. They said that that's the way it had to be. Ah, you raggedy glue bitch. Okay. Okay, that glued to that. Wow, that just does not want to stay. Maybe it's too smooth, or... There we go. Okay, we're getting somewhere here, guys. Possibly. Still gotta fix the back on this. Nope, that just does not want to stay in place. Wonder. Why does that one stay, but this one doesn't want to stay? What the hell are you? Let's see if that works. Better. Okay. That's pinned back enough. And that means that I can put a drop of glue here. Pin that hood clasp down. Then I'll just glue there. Okay. Now I'm getting somewhere. Now I'm getting somewhere. So that's gonna have to get painted white. Okay. Let's see here. Still got the full range of motion. Cape's out of the way. All right. Okay. I'm gonna paint those black first, then white. You may ask yourself, why would you do that? And I'm gonna answer you because it's in my best interest, I think. So I can see what I'm doing. Is this an admission that I'm a blind bitch? Partially. Is it also an admission that the lights are not as bright in here in this spot until I move my lights over? Also possibly. Okay, those are painted black. All right, let me catch up on the chat now that I've got my serious face out of the way. Sculpt the robes. Oh, it's Adam. Hi, Adam. Thanks for being my hole punch. I did not find that bin of beads in a cookie tin. More ether. I can feel the emery board. Gandhi would be proud. Thanks, Gandhi. Yeah, I need to get my prescription updated. Oh, now he notices you. Oh, I noticed you, baby. I noticed you offering to tongue punch my door hole or something like that. I don't know. You know, Gandhi would be proud if he were alive. Egyptian emojis. He's dead to me, Bjorn. He's dead to me. He knows what he did. At the end of this weekend, I'll be accepting your apology. Hashtag coupon day. You're the meaning of my life. You're the inspiration. Oh, good. I found a pool of wet paint that is not the color that I need it to be. Well, we're getting there. My humble opinion, Merrick. Good. I could see it. Now, I'm not like other customizers. I'm not going to leave this with just one coat of white on it. But like, I don't know why the white doesn't show up right. This paint sucks. This, you know, the custom would be better if the white paint didn't suck. But it's certainly not my skill level. Has nothing to do with that I never took a time to learn how to apply whites. Am I throwing shade at other customizers? Only the ones with YouTube channels who do a shitty paint job and then blame the paint instead of the artist. I said what I said. I said what I said. And I should have thinned this white paint down, and I didn't. But that's okay, because I know what I'm about, and I know what I'm about to do to this guy when I start weathering him. So I'm a little okay with that. But he's starting to get there. I am gonna use some Fabri-Tac to adjust his armor, or adjust the robes on his armor. But right now I want to get the white on here. But I do like that head sculpt a lot. I think I'm gonna have to find a orange or yellow that matches Cody, because Cody's still gonna be his guy. Yeah, that's what's up. Like I said, I will be fixing that white. I'm not done with it by any stretch of the imagination. And I indeed should have thinned it out with a little paint thinner, because white paint has, especially titanium white, has titanium in it. Titanium makes things thicker because it's sucking out all the moisture of the things around it. So. But it did help that I was a smart boy and put down a primer coat of a darker color, because if I'd have just used the transparent plastic, boy, that would have looked atrocious. I've got to stop dipping my finger in the white paint, but hell yeah, Obi-Wan. Leading your troops into battle. Hell yeah. What up? Boom. It's a fucking Star Wars, kid. You fought in the Clone Wars? Like the animated series? I was the Clone Wars. Goopy slime. Dirge. I have parts for a Dirge, and the body I want to use is a one of the big bodies from Joy Toy. Oh, he's not even close to being done, kids. He's not even close to being done. But that is, if you were just gonna do a an Obi-Wan, you could do worse. You could do an episode 2 head on there, because that would be as close for that time period. But I like that head sculpt a lot. It's fucking... He's got his little adventurer glasses on. Hey, train. Trying to run a live stream here. One of the joys of living near the train tracks, guys, is you never know when they're going to come through and make all kinds of fucking ruckus. Bring the motherfucking ruckus. But yeah, he's still got to get weathered. Like I said, I've got to pin his, pin. I'm going to be basically using Fabri-Tac to make his clothes lay the way I want. But yeah, we got a Clone Wars inspired Obi-Wan. Well, buddy, what I can do for you is I can set my phone on FaceTime for you, and you can fall asleep and listen to the choo-choos. You can listen to the choo-choos. Oh, now I've got this spare dope Jedi body, so I'll be making maybe an alien? Maybe an alien Jedi? Who knows? Not me. I don't know. Maybe he's not even a Jedi. Maybe he's just a guy wandering market. That could work. Just add a little bit of dirtiness to him. Who knows? Not sold on it, but I have a body, I can experiment, I can be like Bjorn and try 50 different things, which is not a bad thing at all. Yeah, I want it, I do want it slightly posable though, because I am going to use him for like diorama stories and stuff, but you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. Okay. Little angry Anakin. You were the chosen one. You were my brother, Anakin. I loved you. Ah! Sorry. Oh, that famine guy. Back at it again. Cool, so we got a custom Anakin pretty much out of the way. He's still got to be weathered and everything. And we got a custom Obi-Wan that also has to be weathered. So we are kicking some ass here. And y'all got to watch me play with toys, like literally play with toys. Very exciting time for you all. I'm proud of you. Oh, God. Clean up a little bit of this mess while I'm chatting with y'all. I'm happy with how these guys are progressing. Like I said, I may Fabri-Tac this Clone Wars cape into the Vader cape and try and make it, look like it's got red or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll use that in the middle and sandwich some red fabric on there so that Anakin's got a crazy flowing cape. I could put wire in it. Get Obi-Wan's lightsaber out of here. So uncivilized. And now I've got some extra lightning, so I can use that on a on a figure or force effect for diorama story, or even just use it between some power couplers on a pod racer. That's so wizard, Annie. I have an extra clone trooper head. And now I can paint that yellow like Bly. Or Cody. Orange. Is Cody orange or yellow? Yeah, it's goddamn close. Bly is yellow, Cody's orange. Right. I just work here, guys. I don't know. But I hope that was fun for you. I know it was me being quiet and staring at things and trying to force them together with my mind. Cody is orange. Contact Commander Cody. Let him know there's battle droids. I think I'm going to have to give Anakin a few battle droids. I wonder if I can merge a Dark Trooper with a Super Battle Droid. $250 inches of orange to hunt deer. Hey Hasbro. This is like the 7th or 8th lightsaber that I've gotten. That somehow you've gotten silver on the blade. Could you fucking not? Could you fucking not? For the Republic, for democracy. Yeah, so we're gonna have to do a live. We're gonna have to do a live of weathering these guys up. I'll wait. All right. Perhaps we'll do it Friday night. Maybe we'll do it Thursday night. I don't know. Or I'll make a video. But yeah, I'm happy with the kit bash of Anakin. 2 different Anakins into one. We gave him the dope, more fierce-looking arm. We gave him the scarier head. Like I said, that hair needs a wash, and that scar needs to be brought out a little bit. I'll remove the sigil off of his armor and put an Imperial cog there. Maybe a Sith emblem. Who knows? But yeah, Anakin and Obi-Wan are bitter enemies, and I know that Anakin has a whole platoon of the 501st Stormtroopers with him, and he also commands the troopers that occupy Gimmick, the Imperial troopers that occupy Gimmick, and there are some defectors. We've talked about the Marines. Some of them were Clone Wars veterans, and then we've got Obi-Wan and his clone troopers, and how that story of them being with him will occur. I will fill in some more on that when I do a lore video or set up some shots and talk about lore with that. But I appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to me quietly mash together parts until they worked. And yeah, I gotta get this guy a hand and possibly give him a where'd that pauldron go? Where the frick did it go? Just had it in my hand. There it is. All the way at the bottom. That's where you want it. That's where you want it. Make Fordo orange and have him be one of the troops with Obi-Wan. But yeah. Cool stuff, guys. I appreciate you sticking around. Thank you so much. If you're new to the channel, you know the drill. Like and subscribe. That would help out immensely. You want to support the channel in other ways, you can become a channel member, or you can go to patreon.com/FamineStudiosX. Same handle on Instagram. Same handle on TeePublic, where you get some cool shirts. This is not one of them. Get some Famine Studios Rusty Jackalope shirts. I hope you guys are well. Have an excellent day, excellent night, excellent tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. It's hump day. Be good. Too sweet me. Take it easy, fellas and ladies and everybody in between.